All right, how about the long-awaited Week 4 review? Hirschbach paid CDL training. I'm Jabo. Let's get to it. Week 4, Monday. About half of your classmates will take their first CDL test, and the other half will still be practicing. On Monday, we had 6 students take the test. 3 passed, 3 didn't. The 3 that passed, awesome job. The 3 that didn't, they came back to the yard and practiced the rest of Monday, all day Tuesday. The other half of the students, myself included, tested on Tuesday, and 2 people passed, 3 people did not pass, including yours truly. So, after I tested in the morning and did not pass, I went dejectedly back to the school and trained the rest of the day. And then on Wednesday I trained all day long. And then if you did not pass the test on Monday, you retook it on Wednesday. If you did not pass the test on Tuesday, you retook it on Thursday. And I'm very, very happy to report that all the people who took the CDL test a second time buckled down, maybe some of the nerves were gone, and everyone in my class that put in all this hard work, they all passed, they all got their CDL, they're on their way to making their dreams come true. Now, I have in my notes, was I happy to not pass the test? No. However, in hindsight, I know for me personally, I probably doubled my trucking skills in that day and a half of training because a lot of the class was out of there. It was a little more one-on-one time with the instructor, and I really needed the extra day and a half. And it really made it to where when I took that second test, I was like, I can't lose. What happened to me the first time around, you got to do your pre-trip inspection, made it through that no problem. You got to go straight back, offset back, parallel back. The whole key to passing the test, you want to have no points when you get to that parallel. Well, I didn't know how nervous I was. I knew I was nervous. I usually go straight back with one hand. And if I see the trailer in this mirror, I just turn to that mirror. If I see the trailer in this mirror, I just turn to this mirror. No problem. Well, I was so nervous at the test, I had 2 hands on the wheel and a death grip going straight back, and every time I would check my mirror, I didn't know it. Well, look, I'm turning the whole steering wheel. So I'm trying to do this straight back, going through there like a snake. That doesn't work. So I picked up some points going straight back, and that didn't leave me much wiggle room on the parallel, and I didn't get it in. Not the end of the world, because the next day and a half, guess what? Parallel, 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 until it was almost like learning a dance move or a golf move. It was a beautiful thing. The instructors here, really, really on point. Now, for the people that passed their test on Monday and Tuesday, they had orientation on Wednesday, and they have already hit the road. The people that passed their test Wednesday and Thursday, which would be me and about 5 of my classmates, we have orientation tomorrow on Friday. And after orientation, I drove my own vehicle. I'm free to leave. My classmates, they will provide a rental car, plane ticket, something. The company provides that. They're going back home. I want everyone to know how much I appreciate you watching these videos. And if you've watched my videos this long, I would ask you to please watch the rest of this video, because I got some people that I want to thank. First of all, everybody, and I mean everybody, even if you just like something on Facebook or like my YouTube video, whatever, it does not go unnoticed. I've been up here a long time, away from my wife, away from my kids. It's, pardon my language, it's just freezing ass cold. I mean, and we stuck it out. We did it. This was not easy, man. I mean, I've been through Jerry Wilson basketball practices. I went through boot camp in the military. I've worked some crazy shifts at General Tire. This was every bit as hard as any of them. It was tough, and we all stuck it through. So, with that, please, let me read this list of thank yous. And if I don't mention your name, and you've reached out to me, or you've prayed for me, please know everything was appreciated, and I mean everything. So, let me read these off. Thank yous, obviously, the Lord. The Lord put it on my heart to come up here and do this and change my life. Anna and I are, when you have 3 kids as young as we did, you're not going to have a dime in your 20s and 30s. However, the advantage to that is I'm still pretty young. My kids are grown. We have an opportunity to start a whole new life, and that's what we're going to do. And I thank God for that. Obviously, I would like to thank my wife, Anna, extremely supportive, always supports me. And one thing about Anna being she always claims she's not an athlete anymore, but let me tell you, the athlete in her, she loves me, she helps me, but when I need a kick in the butt, guess what? There's a basketball player, Anna, coming out in her to talk to me kind of like a coach would. I want to thank my kids. They've supported me. They let me do this. Obviously, my parents, if you're watching this video, you probably know I got about the best parents in the world. Nothing's changed. They support me all the way. My whole family, my grandma Diane, my cousins, my aunts, just a random text from someone like my Aunt Susan just saying, I love you. That means the world to me. I would like to thank Central Christian Church and Fouts Christian Church. The prayers, off the charts. I would like to thank Daryl Novak. How I got into this, I was playing golf in the Central Church Scramble with Daryl Novak. He's a trucker. He's a military man. We got to talking. 18 holes of golf later in the Central Missions Open, pretty big seed planted in my mind about this trucking thing. And Daryl's been supportive, a good mentor, and I look forward to carrying that relationship on. Daryl, thank you for everything. I just want to note these special friends that have called me while I've been up here. The man himself, Nuts, Eric Lingefelter, Lance Bolt, Matt Poole, Derek Burns, of course my man Swordy, Dustin Sword. He checks in on me all the time. And if you need your car detailed, look on Facebook, Dustin Sword. He's the man to do it. Lives out by McClellan School. My buddy Wes Beavis from Alabama, he sent me a very, very, very touching message today. And Wes, I love you. Thanks for the correspondence. Hank Evans, my buddy since high school, checking on me. If you think the hammer doesn't have a heart, you're wrong. He does. I know that for a fact. I'd like to thank the training staff at Hirschbach. Trust me, if they could get me and some of these other people to go from here to here in 4 weeks, 100% class operation. My recruiter, Nate Dix, he's been wonderful to me. Any question I've had, wonderful. Like I said again, my Facebook friends, if I don't see you often and you're on my Facebook, trust me, that means at some point in my life you've touched me, and every like, every heart, every comment, it doesn't go unnoticed. People like to rip on Facebook, but trust me, when you're up here 400 miles from home, every comment, I've seen it, I loved it, and thank you. My YouTube friends, I started doing these videos hoping that the people back home could see what I'm doing, and maybe somebody I've never met in my life would want to watch my videos and say, hey, that sounds pretty cool. And sure enough, I'm in week 4 up here. There's a student from week 1 who came up to me and said, hey man, I watched your videos. Looks like you're speaking the truth. So I'd like to point out one instructor individually, Scott Cipher. This man, he teaches people how to drive trucks like John Morant plays basketball, just beautifully. This man is nothing short of a miracle worker. My classmates, all of my classmates, we were a tight-knit group, a very fun group, a group that came together, all races, ages, genders, you name it. Very, very supportive group, and I haven't seen that in every class, but ours was a special class. As for my classmates, I would like to especially point out Logan. He's a young man from Illinois, getting his trucking career started. Matt Prashon from Detroit, 30-year-old single guy, going to make his trucking dreams come true. Nate Roberts from Cincinnati, he's about my age, same deal as me. Middle of his life, hey, I'm going for it. Tanya Gibson Smith, now this special lady, she's something else, and anytime that I was down or blue, let's just say she smacked that right out of my mouth. She is a true, true inspiration. Tanya Gibson Smith. She also has YouTube videos about Hirschbach, and I would highly recommend you watch them because she is quite entertaining. Last but not least, I have my man, Hot Rod Childress from the Detroit. And Rod and I have gotten so close that after my training is done and after his training is done, me and Rod are going to drive together until my wife's ready to drive. So it'll be me and Rod rolling down the highways. You will see him in Mount Vernon, and we are calling ourselves Hook and Book. So when we get on the truck together, you'll be seeing some videos from Hook and Book. All right, let me get to what's next. I have orientation tomorrow. Then I can go home. I'm actually going to go visit my sister and brother-in-law tomorrow night. We're going to celebrate Saturday morning. I'll be heading back to Mount Vernon, and I don't care what the weather is. It's golf weather. You can bet on that. When I get home, I go to the DMV. I upgrade my license. I call back up here to Hirschbach, let them know when I'm available to train. And at some point, somebody will come through Mount Vernon and pick me up, and my trainer will be in the passenger seat, awake, and I have to drive 200 hours with him. Should take 4 or 5 weeks, and the last week I'll be doing all the trip planning, paperwork, fuel stops, and after that I'll be ready to go and meet up with my man Hot Rod. Other than that, I will just be waiting for Anna to get here upon Jackie's graduation. And if you've watched this long, please let me say one more time, thank you. Got my license, and it's only up from here, so God bless.